Well, we are back with another listable because we know people love their lists. And this time we are directly tying this list into our second week scene, which Charlie said was Capone with Tom Hardy. So this will be 10 things about ... Al Capone. Do you want to hear 2 quick interesting facts that I don't know if I've said on the podcast or not?
Sure, go ahead.
So when I was in Boston for my work conference, I have a lot of things to say about my company from the people. Not my company, I mean the company that I spent with that time with those people. There's a lot of things I could say, and I'm not going to say them, but just in case somebody stumbles upon this. But so one of the things that he said, and I believe him, like as much as there's things I wasn't a fan about this gentleman, he's old enough, that he has like wisdom, I guess.
Or he knew Al Capone.
Yeah, he's probably around that time. But this is what he would say, because he has the money to buy this shit. He was like, if you import wine from Italy, always make sure that the cork matches the brand as the bottle. Because the Italian Mafia actually really does run shit in Italy. And they'll actually uncork your wine, pour it out, put cheaper wine in it to make profit. So he was actually saying that he checked some of his wine and some of his corks were actually not the same as the manufactured wine.
But why wouldn't they just use the same cork?
Because once it's screwed out, you get a hole in it. You can't.
Oh, okay.
So they use, and they probably figure people don't check. Another thing that he said that was really interesting is same thing because the Italian Mafia, it is like the chances of getting really pure extra virgin olive oil from Italy is like 20%. Like they water that shit down.
Yeah.
So all you people that think you're being healthy out there, you're pretty much using canola oil. So suck it. Number 1. People confuse mobster and mafia a lot. They're kind of interchangeable. I probably interchange it all the time. But Al Capone officially was never a part of the mafia because neither of his parents are Sicilian.
Oh.
He was in a group called the Outfit, but he was never attached to the Italian Mafia because no Sicilian in his blood. Or I guess I can't say that. His parents weren't Sicilian. He wouldn't have got past a background check. They would have sent 23andMe that shit, and we'll get back to you.
My mom is Sicilian.
I know, you could have joined the Mafia.
No, I'm not enough.
I tried, man. It's on Indeed.
Number 2. Al Capone was born in Brooklyn, New York, 1899. That's it. That's the fact.
Oh, it is a fact. All right.
That's my facts.
So, when Al Capone was in Chicago, his main source of income was actually bootlegging because he was around during the Prohibition era in the 20s and the 30s. So the brewing, distilling, sale of alcohol, all that shit was forbidden. So Prohibition allowed criminals to make a lot of money because people love their alcohol.
Number 4. Al Capone has had connections to other groups throughout his youth, like the James Street Gang Boys. James Street Boy Gang.
That's funny because in the Warriors, there's the Jones Street Boys.
Oh, okay.
But this is the James Street Boys.
I wonder if they're close. And by age 16, he was part of the 5 Point Gang.
Number 5. I know what you're thinking. This dude is one of the biggest mobsters in all of U.S. history. He's probably had so many people killed. He's known for the Valentines Day Massacre. So what death was it that brought this man down? None. Dude did not pay his taxes. He was put into prison because he didn't pay his taxes. Had nothing to do with killing people, which is sad.
That was like me when I was 20.
Same thing.
Yeah. Number 6. In a fight in the Harvard Inn, Capone got a cut across his left cheek, and thus earning him the name Scarface.
Apparently, it's because he hit a girl, and the drunken boyfriend or whatever the girl, was actually trying to stab his neck, but he was drunk, so he missed and he got his cheek.
I hate when that happens.
Number 7. I saw this on more than one list, but I didn't do a ton of research on it. I hope this is true, because it's kind of crazy. Apparently, Al Capone had a bulletproof Cadillac, and when he went to Alcatraz, that bulletproof Cadillac was seized by the government and then used for President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
You know who should have used it? JFK.
Oh man, I don't think I think that was before this, but it's interesting because in Capone he mentions Cadillac. One of the guys is like, "You remember your Cadillac?" I was like, "Oh, is he gonna tell the story?"
No.
But he didn't.
Number 8. After Capone's mentor Torre retired to Italy, Capone became the crime kingpin of Chicago, running every kind of vice. I don't have a year on it, but
South Chicago, right? Wasn't that his?
yes, yeah.
He was a Southie. He was like what's the dude name from Riverdale? Jughead. He was Jughead basically.
Southside Serpents.
Yeah, he was based Capone, Jughead, and Jones, same thing.
Pretty close. That was my background for a long time, the Serpents.
Really?
Oh yeah.
9. All right, I researched this one. This is true, and this is crazy. During Al Capone's time in Alcatraz, one of his favorite pastimes was playing the banjo and a guitar in an Alcatraz prison band that called themselves the Rock Islanders.
Can you
Good
imagine
luck topping that one.
Can you imagine announcing on the guitar Al Capone?
No, on the guitar, Scarface. Say hello to my little solo.
Number 10. His most notorious killing was a Valentines Day Massacre, in which he gunned down several members of the Bugs Maroons gang. You want to add any little species spicy pieces of Parmesan on that?
Was he actually there, or did they just suspect that he ordered it? I know it was the gang, and it was like
there.
Okay, I know it was like in a parking garage or something, but it sounds. Everybody's death is a tragic thing, but when I researched it, it seemed like if you're calling something the Valentine's Day Massacre, it seems like it should be a little bit more grand than a couple of the other gangs who probably killed people themselves. And so here's a bonus one, just because I feel like we actually did a really good job of encapsulating both random facts and important facts.
I think we tried.
In his teen years, he contracted syphilis, which eventually led to him getting dementia, and his mental and physical state deteriorated dramatically, which leads itself to, it's actually a really great segue to our second week scene review of Capone, but that's a fact. Like I think he died when he was like 48. And
48.
And the physician said he had the mental state of like a child. So that is 10 things about Capone. And if you're not sick about hearing Capone and you want to hear us talk about people pooping themselves, let's make our way over to second week cinema.